Hi there and welcome back. So the next breath we're going to do is called Nadi Shodhana. But before we do Nadi Shodhana, we're going to go ahead and go through what I call the greatest all-rounder breath. So a simple 3-part in breath and then a letting go on the out breath. And in yoga practice, oftentimes there's a control on the out breath. It's kind of through the nose, but it sounds like this. But it's my feeling that we have enough control that we're trying to maintain through our daily lives. So I would like to teach you this breath, 3-part in breath and surrendering out breath, because really it's a great breath that you can come back to any time of the day. If you're noticing that you're not breathing properly, you can just take a few of these breaths and reconnect back in. It's also really great while you're laying in bed trying to get to sleep. So the way you want to connect in with this 3-part breath, we're going to go through the 3 sections. So it's belly breath, and then a breath into the ribs, and then a breath up into the chest. We're going to compartmentalize that at first, and then we're going to link them together. So don't focus too much on the out breath at this point in time. Like I said, it's just a surrendering natural out breath. You're going to take your breath in, bring your hands onto your belly, and really exaggerate it. So take that breath in sort of like into the lowest part of the lungs. If you can imagine that the lungs are broken up, top, middle, bottom, imagine that you're like a vacuum, sucking that air down into the very bottom of your lungs. And you can feel the belly expand, because as you're doing that, as you're drawing that breath in, the diaphragm is pressing down on all the abdominal organs, and then that's what's causing that bulging outward. So do a few rounds of that. And like I said, exaggerate it. In the Nadi Shodhana breath, or when you connect to this during your regular everyday life, you don't have to exaggerate it so much. But I just want you right now to feel the breadth and depth of this breathing, okay? So bring your hands to your belly. Take a deep breath in. And see if you can just bring it into the belly. Just let the breath out through the nose and then right back in again. And of course, your rib cage and your chest are going to move a little bit, but try to bring it deep, deep down into the belly. And it sometimes helps for you to lay down and try this. Okay, and then release that and just notice how that felt. You know what? Maybe you've had some experiences with belly breathing before. Maybe you never have. And most of us are living up breathing in our chest, which actually activates the fight or flight reflex. But when we can bring it down into the belly, that calms and soothes the nervous system, and it does a whole world of wonders for your whole well-being. Okay? So now we're going to go into the rib cage. Wrap your thumbs around the back of your rib cage, and then wrap the 4 fingers around the front. And what you want to do is feel your rib cage moving in all directions. You should feel it going out to the sides, but you should also feel it pressing into the back of those thumbs and even into the front of the fingers. So you can feel that kind of like a sponge, open and close and open and close. So start to do that in and out through the mouth. In and out through the nose. Take a deep breath in. And again, you're trying to compartmentalize it, just so that the brain becomes aware. I have these different parts to the lungs. And again, exaggerating it a little bit deeper, a little bit fuller than usual. And release that breathing. And once again, just observe. What are your bodily sensations? What were the thoughts around that? Boy, when we try something new, the thoughts can really wreak havoc. The ego comes out and has lots to say. Am I doing it right? And it's just breathing, right? Isn't that funny? So then next, come into the chest. Just put your fingers right up to the chest bone and take a couple deep breaths into there. Notice how this might feel a little bit more natural. Again, exaggerate it. Make it really deep. See if you can breathe even into the upper back, not just the front of the chest. And then release it again and just notice. I'm betting for the great majority of you that felt more natural, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to link those 3 breaths together. So it becomes like an ocean wave, a wave that comes up from the belly, up into the chest, and then just surrenders out, coming back in again. And try when we do this for it to be what's called a circular breath. So no end and no beginning. There's no inhaling and then holding and then exhaling and then holding. Make it smooth transitions in and out. So we're going to try that again. In and out through the nose. And it might help for you to put one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. Deeper, fuller breaths than usual, a little bit exaggerated. Feel that wave of breath coming from the belly, expanding the rib cage right up into the chest and the upper back, releasing it out, letting it go, surrendering it down. And then just let go completely. Come back to your natural breath and once again, observe. We become the observers of our own experience. We start to notice as we slow down and watch what's happening, all the subtleties, all the shifts below the surface. So what feels different after breathing in that way? I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here just so it's easier for you to find the Nadi Shodhana breath. So meet me over in the next video. I'll see you there.